Hey guys, it's Vault, and today I'm gonna tell you guys why rank 8 is a lot harder than all the other ranks on the way up to rank 10. Right here on the left is the comp I'm using. Shiftry, Grand Bull, and Melmetal. As you can see, originally he had a Swampert out and immediately swapped. Something that I've noticed as well is once you get into the higher ranks, you are facing a lot harder people. Right there he uses Shadow Ball, and I thought he had Bone Club, which would not have been affected, but he has two movesets on his on his Alolan Marowak, so something else that I've noticed on facing these higher up people are the Pokemon that they're using as well. I haven't been seeing as much meta Pokemon in these sets as I have in like rank 7, which is quite interesting because these guys are winning based off of stuff people normally don't win or use, so it's kind of interesting to match up against them. He uses Shadow Ball once again, and that does a good bit of damage to my Melmetal. And at this point, I'm already down just based on my shields that I've used, and he still has a shield, so I had to use Superpower right here because he would have had his attack as well, and he does not block, so. And he still has Swampert, and he still has moves on it, so it's not very good for me because he's just going to immediately come out and use his move. I do have Leaf Blade right there, but he's just going to hit me with the Hydro Cannon right here and get the win. Something else I've noticed in rank 8 is it's a lot harder to get, 4 or 5 wins in a set. I'm usually getting 3 wins every single set, and it's making it a lot harder to rank up faster just based on my luck right now. He does come out with a Quag right here, and I'm just going to block just because he blocked originally. And he uses Sledge Bomb, and that would have dealt a good bit of damage, so it was a good block on my part. And he gets his attack right before I get mine again, so I'm just sitting here waiting, and he swaps, and I recognize that, but for whatever reason I still decide to hit that Leaf Blade, but I swap to my Grand Bolt because I know it's going to do a good bit of damage. But what I've noticed too with this comp, I may need to change it up a little bit as well, is that my comp is basically just to counter the meta. And right now currently is I'm not facing like as many meta comps, so I'm thinking I may need to bring in over my Melmetal, I may swap it out for a Whiscash or an Azumarill, just so I can have a water type in there as well, water ice or something. Or I think Whiscash may be the play, just because it also gets a charge up extremely fast. And that's probably what I'm going to do. But Melmetal is also very good against the Registeels and the Skarmonys, so I kind of want to keep him in. I may actually swap out my Grand Bull just strictly for a, maybe my Grand Bull for the Azumarill, so I can have that defense against a Altaria if I come across one. As you saw in that last match, I did get the win. He comes out with a Skarmory and I instantly swap, and then he swaps again. And I know right here that Rock isn't going to deal a lot of damage, but he decides to block. And I have to block right here because Mud Bomb is going to deal super effective on my Melmetal. See, right here is what I kind of want to do with my comp, is come out with like something strong like my Melmetal. Because I'm seeing a lot of Skarmonys coming out first now. Or Registeel or something. So maybe mix up how I'm coming out with stuff. Like my Melmetal's first. And then maybe my Azumarill second and my Shiftry in the rear. But I'm just gonna have to play around with it as well, so. And he's gonna eliminate my Grand Bull right there. And right here I'm not really sure what to do. I'm gonna pull out my Melmetal again. And he's gonna use a Sky Attack, and that's not gonna deal a lot of damage, so. And I get my superpower. And he's going to get his attack, which is fine for me. Because my Shiftry is able to eliminate him right there. And he comes out with a Laloon, so I'm not really sure how to counter this just because I haven't seen a lot of them. But I know it is a ground whatever, so I'm going to use my Leaf Blade, and it does about half damage, so unfortunately he gets his attack off right before mine. But it's not effective, so that's good. And I'm able to eliminate him right there, but he still comes out with his Whiz Cash, and I barely get my move off, and I get the win on this game right here. So very close match right there, and let's see how we're going to do in our next match. And in that last match, that's a pretty, I would be pretty mad if that was me on the other end, but it was not. Right here off the bat, we're getting weak connection on this game. He comes out with a Mega, and to be honest, that's a very good Pokemon to be using in Great League. And he does not decide to block off my attack, which is good, but I'm going to shield here because I want to keep my Shiftry alive. Because usually if I see people come out with like a grass attacker off the beginning, then they're going to have some type of water. And he comes out with a Lowland Sand Slash, which is, I don't know how to counter this actually. So I'm just gonna try to make him waste his shields, I guess, but grass is not effective and he has his attack once again. And I'm not sure to block, and I was like, I'm gonna block, and he has Ice Punch, so that deal was effective. This swap right here probably was not something I needed to do, because he's going to use Gyro Ball, and that's going to deal super effective. So right now I'm not really sure what to do. And I just pull out my Melmetal because I still want to keep my Shiftry alive. Because I had a feeling he had a water or something, and he does. He has a Azumarill. And Stone Edge is not going to deal a lot of damage. So I'm just trying to, at this point, I'm just trying to get my attacks out and make him waste his shield so I have a chance. But at this point, I'm like pretty skeptical if I'm going to win this match or not. Just based on him still having a shield and all of his Pokemon alive. I get my Stone Edge once again. And he uses his final shield, which is good for me. He uses his Hydro Pump, and that kills me. But I swap to my Shiftry, or I don't swap to it. It's my only Pokemon left, and I'll get Leaf Blade, and that's going to deal super effective and get rid of the Azumarill. And I'm going to try to charge back up my attack again, and I'm going to get it just barely, and even though it's not effective, it's still barely going to eliminate him. And I need to get my attack before he gets his, and unfortunately he gets his, and this is a game that I lose once again. But as you can see, it's not that I'm getting like completely destroyed in these matches. They are all pretty close matches. It's just pretty unfortunate because most of the time I'm losing just based on the connection and how fast and who gets their attack off. And if Niantic was able to, optimize their servers or whatever for PvP, then that would be extremely good for the Go Battle League. So I'm going to use Foul Play once again because that's going to deal, a moderate amount of damage, and he does not block again. See, I think Shiftry is one of the strongest people to use right now in Go Battle League, just because it counters so much of like meta Pokemon, just because it has that dark move on it. And once again, he does not block for whatever reason. And he pulls out Altaria. I instantly swap. And at this point of the game, I already know that I win. Just strictly based on me eliminating his Registeel, which is huge for me. And then pulling out an Altaria second, and I have a perfect counter for it. And he pulls out a Azumarill, which is something that's extremely common in Registeel Altaria comps. And he comes out, and more than likely he does not have anything that's going to do a lot of damage, and he uses Ice Beam just based on his charge time, which is good. And because he just used his attack, I'm going to instantly swap to my Shiftry, trying to eliminate him. And unfortunately, he does get his attack, which is, I'm not quite sure how, just based on, just based on how fast he got it. It was like a miscalculation on my part. But I know his last person is Altaria, and my Stone Edge is going to deal super effective, and I'm going to get the win right here. And as you can see in this set right here, I got 3 wins out of the 5, and this is why it's extremely hard to rank up in these higher leagues, just because there are a lot of better players, along with every time that you claim your rank reward, you rank up about 5 to 10 points, and it's just extremely hard to rank up. So thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next video.